Hello friends! Welcome to my channel Creating Essence. I am Megan. Today I'm doing an overview on my second grader's reading curriculum choices for this year. If that sounds like something that interests you, stick around. First up is math. We are doing a Becca for math. We don't do any of the test booklets, and I do not get the teacher's curriculum because they do a pretty good job of laying out the content on each page, and I can tell easily what the concept is that day and teacher myself at this level. I am also, because she's had a little bit of a difficult time getting the concept of telling time down, we are using this book, the Usborne Lift the Flap Telling the Time book. This is a really neat little book with lots of information jam-packed inside. It talks about all the different ways how clocks are made, what the different terminology means, like what's on a clock for the hands and things. And these are all things that she has been introduced to, but there are things that haven't quite clicked yet. So I'm hoping that using these really awesome illustrated books that it'll sink in and she'll grasp these concepts. Now, my girl is a little bit of a reluctant reader. She can read, but she doesn't have the confidence. So she always says she can't and she won't try unless I'm sitting there with her, guiding her. So while we are using Becca readers because they go along with the rest of the ELA curriculum, so they'll see the same words and the same grammatical and phonetical concepts throughout, I am also using some fun books. This is a book, I believe this is a Kane Miller book from Usborne Books and More that she chose because she's a huge animal fan, and this is a series about a little dog. It's the Pup Patrol series about a little dog who's a detective. It is a chapter book, so it makes her feel all grown up. Whoops. But it's easy reading, it's pretty big print, there are lots of pictures so it doesn't feel overwhelming, and they're really fun, cute little books. For penmanship this year, we will be doing a bit of copy work, which we have never done before, and she will be starting cursive. We start cursive in second grade. This is a tablet, just a basic cursive tablet from Becca. It has the letters up here to remind them what the uppercase and lowercase look like, and then you can practice each letter, uppercase and lowercase. And it pretty much goes into blank pages to practice how and what you want them to do that day, depending on what they're struggling with. Also from Becca, we are doing Language 2. It is their grammar book. Now, Becca's Language Arts, they split for first and second grade into a grammar book and a phonics book. And I really like this approach because this gives them the grammatical concepts of how to write a sentence, what very basic punctuation means, and it makes it pretty fun and teaches them how to use those grammar concepts. Well, the phonics it goes through, pardon me, the letter sounds very thoroughly, and then it goes into blends, and it does a really great job of being really thorough in both these areas to give them a firm foundation for language. I do not buy the test booklets for either of these. If she can show me a working knowledge of it every day, I don't need her to prove it on a test sheet. For spelling, we also use Becca. This book was purchased for my oldest several years ago, so this will be the third child to use it. Again, it goes along with what she'll be seeing in reading and in language and phonics, and it's just reiterating the phonetical concepts and practices using those grammatical terms in the usage of those words. How we do spelling is a little bit different for her because it seems connected, her reading reluctance with a tough time spelling. So we take it really slow. We do a lot of practice, we do a lot of games, we do a lot of usage, and we don't move on until she really understands. Now for science, we have a big stack of books here. For science, last year I tried getting her into Apologia with my older two, and she just was not interested, and it did not keep her attention. I think it just is a little bit beyond first and second grade. So, since she is an animal lover, we're going to do a bit of a nature study approach. This book, Butterfly Eyes and Other Secrets of the Meadow by Joyce Sidman, is a really neat poetry book with fantastic illustrations. I featured this in my storybook video about outdoors and gardening recently. I will link that in an iCard above. But it's poetry about nature and has really neat, gorgeous, detailed illustrations to go along with the poems that you can find in there, and they're riddles that teach you things about the animals and things that they're talking about. It's really a really neat approach, and it opens their eyes to the things around them outside so they can notice them when they're outside. Similarly, this is Dark Emperor and Other Poems of the Night, also by Joyce Sidman. Same style, same amazing illustrations, same poetry that are riddles, really neat, very intricate, detailed illustrations. And this was actually recommended by Hannah of Pepper and Pine. If you have a chance, you need to check out her channel. She focuses on the Waldorf approach, but she has fantastic homeschool resources for all approaches. The next book we're doing is Vet Academy. Let's see, that is another Kane Miller book, and it is a really neat book that basically makes the student feel like they're learning to be a veterinarian. They have a little badge here where they put in their information. Welcome to Vet Academy. Love is the best medicine, and talks about nurturing your pets of all kinds. How are you? It talks about understanding the signs the animals will give you based on how they're feeling. Teaches you how to look at a new animal and see how they're feeling. This is how dogs express themselves, how cats express themselves, and then it goes on about turtles. And this is, I believe this is a gerbil, a hamster. And it keeps going, talks about what they eat. And this is something that I thought my animal lover would really love and we could use to learn so much more. This is the Usborne Big Book of Sea Creatures. It's just another fantastic book from Usborne that is so colorful, and the pages open up on either side and show you so much, give you so much to learn. It is really, really fantastic all the way through. And it's just another class of animals to learn about and to use as a jumping off point to get library books and different things to dig in more about the things that interest her. And lastly, this is another Kane Miller book. It's Secrets of the Apple Tree, a Shine a Light book. Now this doesn't look like a whole lot, but this is a neat storybook that you use with a flashlight where you shine it on the underside up through here, and it shows you how there's so much more going on than just an apple tree. And it basically talks about the entire ecosystem that relies on the apple tree in all seasons. Shine a light here in the grass, see what's more. the worms underneath. See who relies on the leaves that fall on the tree, fall off the trees. It is really fantastic. The illustrations, the neat way you can use a flashlight with it, because every little kid loves flashlights, don't they? And as long as they're not shining them in their eyes, I say it's a good use. And lastly for her is history and geography. This is the Evan Moore Beginning Geography book. I purchased this on recommendation from my friend Michelle over at A Common Life. If you haven't seen Michelle's channel, you need to check it out. She is another amazing homeschooling YouTuber with so much wisdom to share. She shared this book. It's for kindergarten through 2nd grade. And I purchased this on Amazon. It really is truly a really great introduction to geography. And I was really impressed with all it taught about what is a map, looking at a map, just the very, very basics, and continuing to move through that and make it a little more in depth and look a little bit more. I am really excited about this book, and actually my preschooler is going to be doing it for her if he's interested. You never know with preschoolers. Next, for history, we are doing American history, starting with history of the Native Americans. She will be doing this along with my older two, who are in 4th and 6th grade. This is Usborne's Starting Point History. Who were the first North Americans with internet links? Now that means it is a great introduction to the cultures and lifestyles of Native Americans across the U.S. And it also contains links to get even more information and do so much more with it than just what's actually inside the pages of this book. We also have the Smithsonian Children's Encyclopedia of American History. Now this does also have some Native American history in it. It starts with Two Worlds Meet, where the Europeans arrive in North America and how that impacts the Native Americans, and continues on through there. It has fantastic map and geographical information, as well as neat illustrations that I think that my children will enjoy. For my 2nd grader and my preschooler specifically, I also got some fun reading storybooks to try to interest them in things that we are going to come upon in American history. This is a Kane Miller book. It's Amelia Who Could Fly, and it is such a neat little story that is historical fiction, but it's the story of Amelia Earhart, and it just talks about, it kind of makes up a story of her as a child who's imaginative and can do anything. And it does go through what she accomplished, but just encourages the kids that you can do anything too. And I thought that was really neat. This, I think, yes, it's also a Kane Miller book. This is The Curious Case of the Missing Mammoth. This is a really, really cute story about a little boy who, it's another lift the flap with fun information inside the flaps. But it's about this little boy who's looking out his window at night and meets a woolly mammoth. And the woolly mammoth is chasing his little brother. And they end up at the museum. It is so neat. It's really funny, but there's so much information included and so many lift the flap spots with 5 fast facts. And the illustrations are adorable. More facts about the creatures on this page. And then it goes into history when they get to the library and they talk about these different historical people, and you can open most of the books on this page and it gives you historical facts about things. And then it goes to the flight floor, and it talks again about the various people involved in the history of flight. Takes you to the time of the dinosaurs, and it just keeps going like that until they eventually find the mammoth's baby brother. And that is it. We will also be doing seasonal arts and crafts, as well as some fun optional days with things like the YouTube channel Kids Art Hub, which the kids love. They just sit down with a blank piece of paper and a pencil and eraser, and they have so much fun learning how to draw neat things. She will also be doing American Sign Language with the rest of the family, which I'm doing a separate video about soon. I hope that was informative or encouraging or helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment sections below. I would love to answer them for you. And I will include links to where I purchased all of these books below in the info section. Thank you so much, friends. Bye-bye.